The doctor gets tied up with a rope and
Okay.
dragged away, and
All right. Since we're just kind of a little bit, I'll pay attention at page 6. You said
yes.
during the fight, and maybe I can like interject some things.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
we're
I
now
don't.
recording and live on YouTube. Hi, I'm Paul Sugarman from the Instant Shakespeare Company, and we're very pleased to host the Zoom reading today of the Molière Rendezvous reading of 2 Molière one-acts. So over to you, Simone.
Okay, great. Thanks. So Molière Rendezvous will present 2 early one-act plays by Molière, The Flying Doctor and The Jealousy of Le Barbouille. These were sketched during his time spent outside of Paris in the French provinces and were influenced strongly by the prominent Italian Commedia dell'arte, largely based on stock characters. The date of the actual premiere of The Flying Doctor is unknown, but its Paris premiere took place on the 18th of April, 1659. Both of our recordings are translated into English by Charles Harrenwall. Our first reading is of The Flying Doctor, minus the rope. Introducing the cast. Paula?
I'm Paula Hosa, and I am reading Sganarelle.
Anna?
I'm Anna Cody. I'm reading Gorgibus.
David?
I'm David Seater. I'm reading Gros René and the lawyer. Yes, lawyer.
Alana?
Hello, I'm Elena Rader. I'm reading Cateau.
Clinton?
I'm Clinton Powell, and I'm reading Molière.
And I'm Simone Cunha, the playmaster, and I am reading Sabine. All right, here we go. The Flying Doctor.
Well, Sabine, what do you advise me to do?
I have really much to tell you. My uncle is bent upon marrying my cousin to Valbrequin, and things have gone so far that I believe the wedding would have taken place today if you were not loved by her. However, as my cousin told me the secret of all the love she feels for you, and as we were almost driven to desperation through the avarice of our dreadful uncle, we thought of a capital device to prevent the marriage. At the present moment, my cousin affects to be ill, and the foolish old man, who is easily deceived, has just sent me to fetch a doctor. Could you not find some friend of yours who would be on our side and order the invalid to go into the country for a change of air? The old man will be sure to send my cousin to live in the pavilion, which is at the bottom of our garden. In that way, you will be able to see her unknown to our uncle and marry her, and then let him and Valbrequin curse as much as they please.
But what means have I of finding so suddenly the doctor I want, and who would risk so much to serve me? I tell you frankly, I know of none.
Now that I think of it, why don't you have your servant dressed up as a doctor? There is no one more easily to dupe than the old fellow.
But Sganarelle is a blockhead who will spoil everything. However, as we have nobody else, we must make use of him. But where shall we find him? Here he is, in the very nick of time. Ah, my poor Sganarelle, how glad I am to see you. I want your help in a most important business, but as I do not know what you can do.
What I can do, sir? Only make use of me in your more important business, in things of consequence. For instance, send me to see what time it is by the clock. Send me to the market to ask the price of butter. Send me to water a horse. It is then that you will be able to judge my talents.
I ask for none of these things. I want you to play the part of a doctor.
I? A doctor, sir? Oh, I'm ready to do all you please, but as for being a doctor, I say no. I am your servant. I will be nothing of the kind. I ask you how I should set about it. Goodness me, sir. Oh, you are only laughing at me.
If you will try, I will give you 10 pistoles.
Ah, 10 pistoles. Well, say I am no doctor, for you see, sir, I am not so scrupulous as to tell you the whole truth, but supposing I am a doctor, where shall I go?
To the old man Gorgibus, to see his daughter who is ill. But you are a blockhead who, instead of doing what we want, might...
Sir, don't be anxious. I'll answer for it that I can kill anybody as well as any doctor in the town. I mean, the proverb usually is, after death comes the doctor. But you will see that if I have anything to do with it, it will be after the doctor comes death. Oh, but now, while I think of it, it must be difficult to play a doctor, and if I do nothing right,
There will be nothing difficult to do in this case. Gorgibus is a simpleton, a boor who will readily believe anything you say, provided you speak to him of Hippocrates, of Galen, and that you have brass enough.
You mean that I shall have to speak of philosophy and mathematics? I'll leave that to me. If he is a man as easily deceived as you say, I answer for everything. You have only to find me a doctor's gown, tell me what you expect from me, and give me my diploma. That is my 10 pistoles.
Go quickly and fetch the doctor for my daughter who is very ill. Make haste!
Why the deuce do you think of giving your daughter in marriage to an old man? Don't you see that that is the longing that she has for a young one that makes her ill? See the attraction there is.
Quickly, I am greatly afraid that the wedding will have to be put off on account of this illness.
That is what vexes me, for I was looking forward to a good round belly for now I have to do without it. Well, yes, I'll go fetch the doctor, but this is as much for my own sake as for your daughter's. I'm dreadfully disappointed.
I am glad to meet you, uncle, to tell you of a good piece of news. I bring the cleverest doctor in the world, a man who comes from foreign lands, who knows the most important secrets, and who will no doubt cure my cousin. He was fortunately shown to me, and I will bring him to you. He is so clever that I heartily wish I were ill, so he might cure me.
Where is he?
Close at hand. Here he is.
Doctor, I am your very humble servant. I sent for you to come and see my daughter who is ill. I put all my hopes in you.
Hippocrates says, and Galen too, with strong reasoning argues, that a person does not feel well when he is ill. You're right to put all your hopes in me, for I am the greatest, the cleverest, the wisest doctor in the vegetable, animal, and mineral faculty.
I am delighted to hear it.
Oh, do not imagine that I am an ordinary doctor, a common doctor. All other doctors compared to me are abortions. I possess wonderful talents. I am master of many secrets. Salam alek, salam alek. Hast thou courage, Rodrigo? Signor, si, signor, no. Per omnia secula seculorum. Still, let us see a little.
He is not the patient. It is his daughter who is ill.
Oh, it does not matter. It's the blood of the father and that of the daughter are the same. And by the deterioration of the blood of the father, I can know the illness of the daughter.
Ah, doctor, I am greatly afraid that my daughter will die.
Death, she must not. She must not indeed have the pleasure of dying before she has the doctor's prescription. But, Monsieur Gorgibus, can I see your daughter?
She is up. I will bring her if you like.
Ah. Oh, well, young lady, are you ill?
Yes, sir.
So much the worse. It is a proof that you are not quite well. Do you feel great pains in your head and back?
Yes, sir.
I thought so. Yes, the great doctor I spoke of in the chapter he made on the nature of animals said 100 fine things, and how the humors which have connection have much relation to each other. For instance, as melancholy is the enemy to joy, and as the bile is going through our body makes us become yellow, and as nothing is more contrary to good health than illness, so we can say with that great man that your daughter is very ill. I must give her a prescription.
Quick, a table, paper, and ink.
Is there anybody here who can write?
What? Do you not know how to write?
Ah, I was forgetting. I have so many things to think of that I forget to have. I think it is quite necessary for your daughter to have a change of air, and that she should go and enjoy herself somewhere in the country.
We have a very fine garden and some rooms attached to it. If you think it will do, I will send her there.
Oh, let us go and see the place.
I have heard that the daughter of Mr. Gorgibus is ill. I must go and inquire after her health and offer my services as the friend of the whole family. Is Mr. Gorgibus at home? Having heard of your daughter's illness, I come to tell you of my entire sympathy and put myself at your disposal for all that may be wanted of me.
I have just left the cleverest man in the world.
Oh, would it not be possible to speak with him for a few moments?
Sir, here is a friend of mine, a very clever man who would be glad to speak with you.
I have no leisure, Mr. Gorgibus. I must go and see my patients. I will not presume to take your place of honor, sir.
Sir, from what Mr. Gorgibus has told me of your merit and talents, I had the greatest longing in the world to be introduced to you, and I have taken the liberty of addressing you on that account. I hope you will not think it too bold. One must acknowledge that those who excel in any great science are worthy of high praise, particularly those calling is that of a doctor. As much as on account of its utility as because it is the source of several other sciences. Hence, it is a difficult one to know perfectly. And Hippocrates therefore says truly in his first treatise, Vita Brevis, Ars Vero Longa, Occasio autem Precepts Experimentum Periculosum Judicium Difficile.
Facile tantina potabaril cambustibus.
You are not one of those doctors who's only study the medicine called rational or dogmatic, and I believe that you practice it every day with great success. Experimentia magistra rerum. The first men who practiced medicine were held in such consideration because of that wonderful science, and they were numbered among the gods on account of the marvelous cures they performed every day. Not that anyone should despise a doctor who has not given back health to his patient, since health does not altogether depend on his remedies or his knowledge. Interdum docta plus valet arte malum. Sir, I'm afraid I'm importunate. I must leave you with the hope that the next time we meet, I shall have the honor of conversing with you at greater length. Your time is precious.
What do you think of that man?
Yeah, he has some trifling knowledge of things. Had he stopped a moment longer, I would have made him converse upon a lofty and sublime subject. But now I must leave you. Oh, what are you about?
I know that I am indebted to you.
Oh, you are laughing, Monsieur Gorgibus. I never take any money. I am not a mercenary man. I think you're very humble servant.
I wonder what Scannerell has done. I have no news from him. I wish I knew where to meet him. Ah, here he is. Well, Scannerell, and what have you done since I last saw you?
Worked wonders upon wonders. I have done so well that Gorgibus really believes me to be a clever doctor. I went to his house. I ordered him to send his daughter to breathe fresh air, and she is now in an apartment at the bottom of their garden, so far from the old man that you can go and see her without fear of being disturbed.
How happy you make me. I shall go at once to see her without losing any more time.
That old fellow Gorgibus must be a downright fool to allow himself to be deceived in that fashion. Oh, goodness, all is lost. Well, he's a pretty upset for my doctorship, but I must try and take him in once more.
Good morning, sir.
Sir, your servant. You see in me a poor fellow driven to despair. Do you know a doctor who has only lately come to this town and who performs wonderful cures?
Yes, I know him. He has just left my house.
I am his brother, sir. We are twins, and we resemble each other like two peas and are often taken the one for the other.
Just take me if I did not make the mistake myself. And what is your name?
A Narcissus, sir, at your service. You must know that while in his study, I upset 2 bottles full of essence, which were on the edge of his table. Will you believe he was so furious with me that he actually drove me out of the house and said he would never see me again? So that here I am, a poor, destitute fellow, without friends, without help, without anything at all.
Don't distress yourself. I will make your peace with your brother. I am his friend, and I promise you that he shall forgive you. I will speak to him the first time I meet him.
I shall be much obliged to you, Monsieur Gorgibus. One must say that when patients will not follow the advice of the doctor, but give themselves up to excesses.
Sir, your very humble servant. I have a favor to ask of you.
What is it, sir? Can I be of service to you?
Sir, I have just met your brother, who is extremely sorry to.
He is a scoundrel, Monsieur Gorgibus.
I assure you that he is so distressed to have put you in a passion.
He is a drunkard, Monsieur Gorgibus.
Huh? Sir, do you wish to drive the poor fellow to despair?
Do not speak to me of him. Just fancy that scoundrel's impudence to go and ask you to make peace for him. I beg of you not to speak of him to me.
In heaven's name, sir, do it for my sake. If it is in my power to do anything to oblige you in return, I will do it with all my heart. I gave him my word, and
you entreat me so much that, although I swore I would never forgive him, here, shake hands. I forgive him. I assure you that I impose a great restraint upon myself, and that I must have great regard for you. Farewell, Monsieur Gorgibus.
I am forced to acknowledge that I should never have thought that Scannerell could have done so well. Oh, my dear fellow, under what obligation I am to you, how happy I am, and how...
Oh, yes, this is all very well, but Gorgibus met me, and if it had not been for a trick I thought of on the spur of the moment, all would have been discovered. Oh, run away, here he is.
I was looking for you everywhere to tell you that I have spoken to your brother. He has promised me that he will forgive you. But in order that I may be more sure of it, I want him to embrace you in my presence. Step into my house. I will go and fetch him.
Monsieur Gorgibus, I don't think you could find him now. Besides, I should not like to step in your house. I dread his anger too much.
Indeed, you will stay there, for I shall lock you in. I am going now to fetch your brother. Fear nothing. I assure you that he is no longer angry.
Oh, well, I'm caught this time. I see no way of escape. Oh, the clouds are very dark, and I greatly fear that if they break, they will rain hard blows on my back, or that by a prescription stronger even than that of all the doctors, they will apply a royal cautery to my shoulders. Oh, why should I despair? Since I have done so much, I must go on to the end. Yes, I must get clear of all this and show that Sganarelle is the king of the rogues.
Upon my word, this is funny. Yeah, how people jump out of the windows in this place. I must just stop here and see what comes of it.
I cannot find the doctor. I wonder where he went to hide himself. Ah, there he is. It is not sufficient, sir, to have forgiven your brother. I beg you to give me the satisfaction of seeing you embrace him. He is in my house. I was looking everywhere for you to ask you to make your peace with him in my presence.
Oh, you are joking, Monsieur Gorgibus. Is it not sufficient that I should have forgiven him? I will never see him again.
Do it for my sake, sir, I pray.
I can refuse you nothing. Get him to come down.
Here is your brother waiting for you yonder. He has promised me that he will do all you like.
Oh, Monsieur Gorgibus, I beg of you to make him come here. Let me see him and ask him in private to forgive me. For no doubt he would treat me roughly and would shame me before everybody.
Gorgibus comes out of his house by the door, Sganarelle by the window.
Very well. I will tell him. Sir, he says that he is thoroughly ashamed, and he begs you to come in so that he may ask you in private to forgive him. Here's the key. You may come in. I beg of you not to refuse me, but give me the satisfaction.
There is nothing I can refuse you. You will hear how I will speak to him.
Within the house.
Ah, so you are here, scoundrel. My brother, I beg your pardon. I assure you it was not my fault. Profligate wretch! I will teach you to dare importune Monsieur Gorgibus and plague him with your absurdities. Ah, my brother, hold your tongue, I tell you. I would not disoblige. Be silent, rascal.
Who do you think is in your house at present?
Why, it is the doctor with his brother Narcissus. They have had a quarrel, but they're making it up.
No, deuce take it, they are more than one.
Within the house.
Drunkard that you are, I will teach you how to behave. He may well look down. He feels he has done wrong, the good-for-nothing scoundrel. Ah, the hypocrite, how he pretends to be good.
Gorgibus.
So do ask him just for fun, to make his brother show himself in the window.
Very well. Sir, pray make your brother show himself at the window.
He is unworthy of being seen by honorable people. And besides, I could not bear to have him by the side of me.
Sir, Do not refuse me this favor after all those you have granted me.
Truly, Monsieur Gorgibus, you have so much power over me that I can refuse you nothing. Show yourself, scoundrel.
After having disappeared one moment, he reappears as a valet.
Monsieur Gorgibus, I am so much indebted to you.
Disappears and reappears again as doctor.
Well, did you see that picture of drunkenness?
Well, I know they're both but one, but and to prove it, tell them that you want to see them both together.
But grant me the favor of showing yourself with him and of embracing him at the window before me.
It is a thing I would refuse to anyone but you. But to show you that I would do anything for your sake, I consent, though with difficulty. And I wish that he should first ask you to forgive him for the trouble he has given you. Yes, Monsieur Gorgibus, I beg your pardon for having troubled you so much, and I promise you, my brother, in the presence of Monsieur Gorgibus, to be so careful in future that you will never have reason to complain. I beg of you not to think any more of what is past.
Kisses his hat and his ruff, which he has put on at the end of his elbow.
Did you not see them both?
Upon my word, here's a sorcerer.
Coming out of the house as a doctor.
I give you back the key of your house, sir. I do not wish this scoundrel to come down with me, for he makes me ashamed of him. I would not, for anything, that he should be seen with me in this town where I have some reputation. You can send him away when you please. I wish you good morning, and I am your humble servant.
Feigns to go, but after throwing down his gown, enters the house by the window.
I must go and set this poor fellow free. To see the truth, if his brother has forgiven him, it is not before ill-treating him very much.
Goes into the house and comes out with Scandarelle as a servant.
I thank you very much, sir, for the trouble you have taken and the kindness you've shown me. I shall be obliged to you for it all my life.
Where do you think the doctor is now?
He has gone away.
He has picked up
I
Scandarelle's
hold him
gown.
under my arm. There is the knave who played the doctor and deceived you. And while he is deceiving you and playing you off, Valère and your daughter are together doing all they like.
Here I am. You shall be hanged, you knave, you scoundrel.
Why, sir, what good will it do to hang me? Hear a word or two, I beg of you. It is true that thanks to my stratagem, my master is with your daughter, but while serving him, I have done you no wrong. It's a good match for her, but as to birth and money, believe me, do not make a scandal which would turn to your shame, but send this knave here to the devil along with Vilebrequin. But here are our lovers.
We come to ask you to forgive us.
I forgive you. And on seeing such a good son-in-law, think myself happily deceived. A Scandarelle. Now, let's all go to the wedding and drink the health of the company.
End of play. We will now take a 2-minute little intermission here, and then we will perform our second one act. Okay, so here we are. Calling all actors. We'll first introduce everybody and our new roles here. So our next one-act play is The Jealousy of Le Barbu, and we will introduce. So Paula, we'll start with you.
I'm Paula Hosa, and I am the doctor.
Anna.
I am Anna Cody, and I'm reading Gorgibus.
David.
I am David Cedar, and I'm reading La Babouille.
Clinton.
Hello, I'm Clinton Powell, and I'm reading Molière.
And Elena.
Hello, I'm Elena Reader, and I'm reading Cato.
All right. Act 1, Scene 1.
Oh, everybody must acknowledge that I am the most unfortunate of men. I have a wife who plagues me to death, and who, instead of bringing me comfort and doing things as I like them to be done, makes me swear at her 20 times a day. Instead of keeping at home, she likes gadding about, eating good dinners, and passing her time with people of I don't know what description. Ah, poor Babui. How much you are to be pitied, but she must be punished. Suppose you killed her. It would do no good, for you would be hung afterwards, and if you were to have her sent to prison, the minx would find means of coming out. What the deuce are you to do? But here is the doctor coming out this way. Suppose I ask his advice for my difficulties. I was going to fetch you to beg for your opinion on a question of great importance to me.
You must be very ill-bred, very loutish, and very badly taught, my friend, to speak to me in that fashion, without first taking off your hat, without observing rationem loci temporis et personae. What? You begin by an abrupt speech instead of saying, salve vel salvus sis, doctorum eruditissime. What do you take me for, eh?
Really, doctor, I'm very sorry. The fact is that I'm almost beside myself and did not think of what I was doing, but I know you are a gallant man.
Oh, do you know what gallant man comes from?
It matters little to me whether it comes from Juif or Aubervilliers.
No, but the word gallant man comes from elegant. By taking the G and the A of the last syllable, that makes ga. Then, by taking the two L's, adding A and the last two letters, NT, that makes gallant. Then, by adding man, you have gallant man. But to come back to what I said, what do you take me for?
I take you for a doctor, but let us speak a little of what I have to propose to you. You must know
Let me tell you first that I am not only a doctor, but that I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 times doctor. Firstly, number 1 is the base, the foundation, and the first of all numbers. So am I the first of all doctors, the most learned of the learned. Secondly, so am I the first. There are 2 faculties essential for a perfect knowledge of things, the sense and the understanding. I am all sense, all understanding, ergo, I am twice doctor.
Agreed. What I want...
According to Aristotle, the number 3 is that of perfection. I am perfect, and everything I do is perfect. Ergo, I am 3 times a doctor.
Very well, then, doctor.
Fourthly, a philosophy is divided into 4 parts, a logic, morals, physics, and metaphysics. I possess all 4 and know them perfectly, ergo I am 4 times doctor.
Deuce take it, I don't doubt it. Now listen to me then.
Fifthly, there are 5 universals, the genus, the species, the differentia, the property, and the accident, without knowing which, it is impossible to arrive at any satisfactory conclusions. I make great use of them and know how important they are. Ergo, I am 5 times doctor.
I must have patience.
6ly, number 6 is the number of work. I work incessantly for my own glory. Ergo, I am 6 times doctor.
Well, speak as long as you like.
7thly, oh, the number 7 is the number of bliss. I possess a perfect knowledge of all that can produce happiness, and by my talents am happy myself. I am therefore forced to say of myself, Ote caterque beatum. 8thly, the number 8 is the number of justice on account of the equality which is found in it, the justice and prudence with which I measure and weigh all my actions makes me 8 times doctor. 9thly, there are 9 muses in all my actions, and I am equally the favorite of them all. 10thly, one cannot pass number 10 without repeating all the other numbers, and it is the universal number. Similarly, when people have found me, they have found the universal doctor, and I am in myself all the other doctors together. Thus, with the help of these plausible, true, demonstrative, and convincing reasons, you see that I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times doctor.
The deuce does he mean by it, all this? I thought I had found a clever man who would give me good advice, and I find a chimney sweep who, instead of speaking to me, plays at Mora. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come, that's not it. You must listen to me and remember that I am not such a man to make you lose your time. I shall make it worth your while, and if you can satisfy me in what I want of you, I will give you what you wish. Money, if you like.
Money?
Yes, money, and whatever you may ask besides.
Then you take me for a man who would do anything for money, for a man fond of money, for a mercenary soul. No, my friend, that if you were to give me a purse full of gold, and that this purse were in a rich box, this box in a precious case, this case in a superb chest, this chest in a rare museum, this museum in a magnificent apartment, this apartment in a gorgeous castle, this castle in a wonderful citadel, this citadel in a celebrated town, this town in a fertile island, this island in an opulent province, this province in a flourishing monarchy, this monarchy in the whole world, that if you gave me the world in which this flourishing monarchy would be, in which this opulent province would be, in which this fertile island would be, in which this celebrated town would be, in which this wonderful citadel would be, in which this gorgeous castle would be, in which this pleasant apartment would be, in which this rare museum would be, in which this wonderful chest would be, in which this precious case would be, in which this rich box would be, in which the purse full of gold would be, I should care no more for it than this.
Well, I made a mistake. Seeing him dressed as a doctor, I felt the necessity I must speak of money to him. But since he does not want any, nothing can be more easy than to satisfy him. I'll run after him.
Scene 3. I assure you, sir, that you will oblige me very much by coming to see me sometimes. My husband is so ugly, so ill-behaved, and such a drunkard that it is perfect martyrdom for me to be with him. And I ask you what pleasure one can have with such a clown as he is.
You do me too much honor. I promise you I shall do my utmost to amuse you, and since you are kind enough to say that my company is not unpleasant, My care and attention shall prove to you what pleasure this good news gives me.
Aye, quick, talk of something else. Here's our old bugbear coming.
Mademoiselle, I'm very sorry to bring you such bad news, but you would have heard it from someone else, and since your brother is...
Say no more, sir. I am your servant, and thank you very much for the trouble you have taken.
Well, what need is there of my having a certificate of my cuckoldom from this notary? So, you trollop, I find you with a man in spite of all my remonstrances, and you want to send me from Gemini to Capricornus.
Are you going to scold me for that? This gentleman only came to tell me of my brother's serious illness. Why should you make that a subject of a quarrel?
Directly, I saw him. I wondered if we should be long in peace.
You spoil one another, you women. You, Cathal, you corrupt my wife. She is not half as good now as she was before she had you to wait upon her.
Really, you treat me in such a nice manner.
Leave the drunkard alone. Don't you see that he is so muddled that he does not even know what he says?
Now there's my cursed son-in-law scolding my daughter again. What, will you always be quarreling? Will you never have peace at home?
This hussy calls me drunkard. Here, I have a great mind to give you a good dressing before your relations.
May his money be blessed, if you have done as he says.
It is always he who begins to...
Cursed be the hour when you chose that sordid wretch.
What is the meaning of this? What a disorder! What a quarrel! What a racket! What a row! What noise! What a dispute! What a combustion! What is the matter, gentlemen? What is the matter? What is the matter? Come. Is there no way of making you agree? Let me be your pacificator. Suffer me to bring peace among you.
It is my son-in-law and my daughter who have had words together.
But what can it be? Now come, let me know the cause of their dispute.
Sir.
But in a few words.
Yes, but put on your hat.
Hat, that is bonnet. Do you know what bonnet comes from?
No.
It comes from bonum est. It is good, a thing which is good, because it saves one from colds and coughs.
Indeed. I did not know that.
Now, quick, the subject of your quarrel.
This is what happened.
I hope you're not a man to keep me long when I pray you not to do so. I have some pressing business which calls me to town. Still, if I can bring peace to your family, I am willing to stop a moment.
I shall soon have done.
Be quick then.
You will be said in a moment.
We must acknowledge, Monsieur Gorgibus, that it is a wonderful gift to be able to say things in a few words, and that great talkers, instead of being heard, become often so wearisome that one cannot listen to them. Virtutum primum erse puta compescere linguam. Yes, the best quality of an honest man is silence.
Oh, you must know then.
There are three things which Socrates used to recommend particularly to his disciples: to be careful of one's actions, to be sober in eating, and to say things in a few words. Begin, Monsieur Gorgibus.
It is my wish to do so.
In a few words, without ceremony, without indulging in a long speech, cut it short with an apothegm. Quick, Monsieur Gorgibus, make haste, avoid prolixity.
Suffer me to speak then.
That's enough, Monsieur Gorgibus, you speak too much. Somebody else must tell me what was the cause of their quarrel.
You must know, sir, that...
You are an ignoramus, an unlearned man, ignorant of all good rules, an ass, in plain English. What? You begin a discourse without a word of exordium? Someone else must tell me what happened. Will you, young lady, tell me the particulars of all this noise?
Do you see here that my fat rascal, my wine barrel of a husband?
Gently, if you please, speak with respect of your husband when you are under the nose of a doctor like me.
Ah, I should just think so, doctor. I care little for you or your doctrine, and I am a doctor whenever I please.
You, a doctor when you please. A nice doctor you make. You seem to do much as you wish, but I say, tell me the subject of your uproar.
Sir, Your Honor,
You begin well, Your Honor. This word has something flattering to the ear, something full of magniloquence, Your Honor.
according to my will,
Quite right. According to my will. The will speaks of a wish. The wish presupposes means to come to one's ends, and the end presupposes an object. It is well said, according to my will.
I am bursting with rage.
Oh, cut out this word, bursting. It is a low, vulgar expression.
Doctor, listen to me for mercy's sake.
Audicae so, as would Caesar have said.
Caesar or don't Caesar, you will listen to me or I will break your doctorial neck. What the devil do you mean by all this?
This is a fine thing.
Wish to explain the cause of the quarrel, the doctor explains that peace is a fine thing. They all talk together and make a dreadful noise. In the midst of all this, Le Barbier ties the doctor by the legs with a rope, throws him down on his back, and drags him away. The doctor goes on talking all the time and counts all his arguments on his fingers, as if he were not on the ground.
Now, my daughter, go back to your home and live in peace with your husband. Your servant, good night.
I am extremely obliged to you, sir, for the trouble you have taken, and I promise you that in about an hour's time I shall be at the place of rendezvous you give me.
I cannot be put off so long. In a quarter of an hour, the ball will be over, and you will miss the pleasure of meeting there the person you love.
Let us go together then.
While my husband is absent, I will just go around to the ball given by one of our neighbors. I shall be back before him, for he is somewhere drinking. He will not even know that I am gone. The wretched knave always leaves me alone at home as if I were his dog.
I knew that I should master the brute of a doctor and his stupid doctrine. Devil take the ignorant ass. I soon brought him all his science to the ground. I must now go and see if our good wife has prepared anything for my supper.
How unlucky. I was too late and the party was over. I arrived just as everybody was leaving. But never mind, it shall be for another time. I will go home as if nothing was the matter.
Cato! Cato!
Leslie, the door is locked. Cato! Cato!
Cato! Cato! Well, what is the matter with Cato? Where do you come from at this time of night and in such weather?
Where I come from, just open the door and I will tell you.
Yes, you catch me. You may go and sleep where you come from. I shall not open to a gadabout like you. What, alone at this time of night? I don't know if it is fancy, but my forehead seems to be rougher already by half.
Well, what do you mean by scolding me because I am alone? You scold me if I have anyone near me. What am I to do?
Stop at home, give orders for my supper, take care of the household and of the children. But it is no use talking so much. Goodbye, good night, go to the devil and leave me in peace.
You won't open to me?
No, I shall not open to you.
Ah, my dear little husband, I beg of you to open the door. Do, my darling little heart.
Crocodile, oh, dangerous serpent, you caress me to betray me.
Open, do open.
Farewell, vade retro Satanus.
What, you won't open?
No,
You have no pity for the wife who loves you so much?
no, I am inflexible. You have offended me. I am revengeful like the very devil. That is to say plainly that I am inexorable.
Do you know that if you push me too far and put me in a passion, I may do something which will make you repent your unkindness?
And what will you do, dear little vixen?
I declare that if you do not open to me, I will kill myself. Before the door, my parents will no doubt come here before going to bed to see if we are all right together, and they will find me dead, and you will be hanged.
The silly creature. Tell me who would lose the most. Nonsense. You're not so foolish as to play such a trick.
You don't believe me? See, here's my knife already. If you do not open at once, I will pierce myself to the heart with it.
Take care, it is very sharp.
You won't open to me?
I have told you 20 times that I shall not open. Kill yourself, die, go to the devil. I care not.
Farewell, then. I am dead.
Can she be stupid enough to do such a thing? I must go down with the light and see.
I will pay you back. If I can only slip into the house while you're looking for me, it shall be my turn.
Well, I knew she was not so stupid as all that. She is dead, and yet she runs away like Petolet's horse. To say the truth, she really frightened me. She did right to run away. But if I had found her alive after she had given me such a fright, my boot would have taught her not to play the fool. Oh, I must go to bed now. Hello, the wind must have shut the door. Too, I fear. Hey, Catao! Catao, open the door.
Cato! What is the matter with Cato? And you, where do you come from, you drunkard? Well, my parents will soon be here and will hear all about you, you wine tap. You infamous wretch, you do not stir from the public house, but leave a poor wife with little children waiting for you all day at home without caring to know if they want anything.
Open quickly, she-devil, or I'll break your head open.
Why, what is it now? Still quarreling and fighting?
What?
We never agreed?
Only just look at him. He is drunk and returns at this time of night to make a noise and threaten to kill me.
She is right. It is not at this hour of night you should come home. Why can you not, like a good father of a family, come home early and live at peace with your wife?
Deuce take me if I left the house. Ask those gentlemen who are on the terrace there. It is she who has only just come home. How innocence is always oppressed.
Well, come, try to agree together and ask her to forgive you.
I ask her to forgive me. I'd rather the devil flew off with her. I'm in such a terrible rage, I hardly know what to do.
Come, daughter, kiss your husband and be friends.
What? Always noise, disorder, dissension, quarrels, strife, disputes, uproar, everlasting altercations. What is it? What can it be? One can have no rest.
It is nothing, Monsieur Doctor. Everyone is agreed.
Ah, about being agreed, shall I read you a chapter of Aristotle where he proves that all the different parts of the universe subsist only through the concord which exists between them?
Will it be long?
No, it's not a bit long, only about 60 or 80 pages.
Oh, thanks. Good night. Good night.
It is not necessary.
Do you wish for it?
No.
Oh, good night then, since it is so. Latine bona nox.
Let us all go and have some supper together.
End of play. All righty. All right, everyone. Thank you.
Farce is reading.
Thank you, everyone. Did you have a good time?
Yeah, it was fun.
It would be so much fun to really do this and put in all that business.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're just the business is just hysterical.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, maybe we can do that at the library sometime. Now that we've rehearsed it once.
That would be fun. No.
Yes, I think rehearsing it would be a good idea.
Yeah. You know what's so interesting to me is that I just see parts from The Imaginary Invalid. Because I read Twinette, and she's, I had the same line saying, okay, yeah, can you be a doctor? You'll come in, and then the double.
I got to see the Comédie Française do The Imaginary Invalid one time.
Oh, fun.
It was brilliant. I mean, it was just
Where did you see them do it?
here in New York.
Oh, in New York. Okay.
But I was also in Paris. My former wife spoke French like a native. She even fooled French people. So on our delayed honeymoon, we went to Paris and stayed with friends there. And one night we went to the Comédie Française and saw a Molière, Monsieur Poissonnière, and a La Biche farce.
Okay, yeah. I got to see, just being in Paris, I got to see The Imaginary Invalid, not with the Comédie Française, but with another they did a nice job. It was fun. What they took, and it was enjoyable to watch. Yeah.
But we were there. We went to lunch with one of her friends, the daughter of one of her she was in Rouen for a year studying flute at the conservatoire, and that's where she met some of these folks. And so we went to lunch, and it was the top floor of one of the old 17th century houses. So I asked to go to the bathroom, and she said, "Will you go out the hall, go out the steps, out the door, up the steps, down the hall, and you'll find it." So I did that, and all it was a hole in the floor.
There you go.
And I said to myself, I couldn't live here. I just couldn't do it.
Americanized. How did you like, Anna? How did you like being a mother?
Loved it. I just want to point out there's this amazing little dumb show. It's only about 3 minutes on YouTube about this person doing the flying doctor, where in the window where he's both, and he's like this incredible clown, and it's just so much fun. I might just send a link to you. It's really well. It's so wonderful.
Yeah, that's why I said minus the rope, because he's roping around the stage. Yeah, even back in that day, that must have been something.
I bet.
How did you like being the doctor there, Paula?
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I know all that Latin. You're
yeah.
not bad. Both you and David, not bad with the Latin.
Well, it's a good thing there's not a priest watching, because I'm sure I murdered it. But
as long as you were, did you practice?
Just to say it with authority.
Right, exactly. Good. Oh, who's that, Anna, Elena? Who do we have there?
Oh, this is
Oh,
Well, hello.
Oh, look who's there.
oh, hello.
Who is this?
This is Calliope, the Pekingese puppy. She's just turned 9 months.
Oh, my puppy's 8 months.
Oh, what kind of dog do you have?
A Cairn Terrier.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, little bigger than that.
They should have a play date.
Yeah, they're the same age. Wow. And what's your dog's name?
Calliope.
Calliope?
Calliope. The Greek.
Okay. Oh, nice. Oh, so still a baby. Is it teething? It's like chewing on your fingers. I love that.
Oh, she's cut down, which is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's your little puppy doing, Paula?
My puppy's good. He's growing, and he's making friends, and he's learning, but he still chews on way too many things. So yeah,
Okay.
he has to be watched carefully.
Yeah, watch the shoes.
Oh, he loves John's slippers.
Oh, okay.
Oh, loves them, and his socks. And
Okay.
John foolishly leaves them on the floor.
Okay. All right. Anyone else have a dog? I'm gonna have a dog someday.
I love dogs, but I can't deal with having one because last thing I want to do when I get home from a rehearsal at 11 o'clock at night is have to walk a dog.
Walk the dog,
in
yeah.
the snow or the rain and it's too much.
Okay.
I confess to wishing I had a garden apartment on occasion.
Oh, we have some people watching. Richelle is here. Richelle, can we ask you? Are you here? Can we ask you what you
Yes.
thought?
It was absolutely delightful. You know, it's been so long since I've seen, well, live theater. I mean, this was as live as it gets for people in, lockdown, which we're just barely out of. So I loved it. Thank you so much. It was absolutely just totally delightful. And I wasn't familiar with those plays, so it was a nice little educational plus as well.
Okay, great. Good, great. Thanks for
Letting me
coming.
know about it. Thank you.
Good. William, you're here too. And we have William the cat.
No,
William, would you like to say something?
no, just that was delightful.
Are we hold that puppy? I got a cat on the screen. Great. Well, thank you for being here, both of you. Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, everyone. It was really lovely, fun playing these two different roles. Could you hear the music? I was supposed to be playing with my speaker, but it wasn't synced up, and then it was just coming from this, and I wasn't ready for that.
I did hear music. I don't know if I heard all of it, but it was
I thought it sounded good to me.
Okay, good. Oh, okay, because it sounded okay, because I know usually I use my speaker, but it was still connected to my computer. I didn't have to, well, I wasn't quick enough to hurry up and change it. Anyway, that's good. Okay, good. All right, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank
It's
you,
lovely seeing
everybody.
you all.
Thank you.
Everyone's
Great
in New
seeing
York,
everyone
right?
too.
Is
Thank
everybody-
you.
Anna, are you back?
pleasure.
Are you in New York?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so everyone's in New York, right? Clinton, you're in New York?
Yeah, I'm in
Okay,
Queens.
everyone's still in New York. Okay. Paul, what did you think?
What I got to hear sounded like a lot of fun. So good job, everyone. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thank
Yeah.
you,
So-
Paul. Thanks for everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Endeavor.
Thank you, Paul.
All right, I guess I can end the live stream and.
Great. You're on.